Good morning, everyone. I'm Nikki Stanzione.
And I'm Kristen Van Dyke.
And this is New Mexico Style. Good to be back.
Yeah, it's good to have you back. We missed you.
Oh, thank you. Well, I'll tell you, I'm sorry if I'm not my wide awake self. I know this is going to come as a real surprise. Another issue on the way back from the East Coast.
Every time I fly these days.
Oh my gosh, Kristen, my flight got canceled. I got a notification. I got up at 8 o'clock yesterday morning, purposely took an early flight yesterday, knowing that I always have issues with delays and things. So I thought, well, this way I get back to Albuquerque by 4 o'clock. Even with a delay, I'll have plenty of sleep, everything else. Anyway, very long story short, I woke up, got ready for the airport, look at my phone, and there's a notification from American Airlines. Your flight has status update. Your flight has been canceled. We are working on rebooking you. They couldn't get me on a flight that would connect me to Albuquerque until late afternoon, which then I get to Newark Airport. That gets delayed an hour. Sat in Chicago for an extra 3 hours and then flew, and I got in around midnight. By the time I got home, I mean, I'm still on New York time, no sleep. It was ridiculous. I mean, and I ended up with 2 extra hours in the air because when you fly through Dallas, you have less flying time versus when you fly through Chicago.
Right.
Anyway, I'm back and all is good, but it's always, right? Every time.
Yeah, it's so difficult.
Unbelievable. But I did have an amazing week.
Yeah, how was it?
Well, I kind of need a vacation from my vacation because it was not, you know, when you go to a wedding, when you're in a bridal party, you don't take a break. I was up early every day, up late every night. It was, honestly, I could spend the whole hour, I will not, but I could spend the whole hour talking about this wedding. My parents did not miss a detail. It was beyond the most perfect, beautiful wedding. Everything about it. I mean, you know, it's so cute. This is a great idea. We did everything. They did Jello shots on the dance floor. They had little sorbet intermezzos where they were passing out little ice cream cones of sorbet to people in the middle, like while they were dancing. The band was on. I ended up singing with the band. Yes, I did.
Of course.
Well, you know what happened? Everybody's dancing. They start with a whole disco set, and the band leader comes out. And you know when they come to the dance floor and they're like, sing along, right? Well, I kind of took the mic, and then they were like, oh, come on up. And I ended up singing 2 songs, and I had the best time.
Oh, but that was fun.
Oh, yeah. It was, and my sister was a beautiful
Was it emotional?
Yes, it was emotional. And look at us Jersey girls with that hair.
Yes, big hair.
Bump it. We didn't need bump its. We didn't need anything but hairspray. We have some serious Jersey hair.
So how do you do that? How do they do that?
The hairstylist basically just did a few little teases with the comb.
Okay.
Bobby pinned it, sprayed it, and it stayed. You know, that hair sustains. I'll tell you what.
The dresses are gorgeous.
Oh, thank you. My sister honestly was a princess bride. She couldn't have been more beautiful, and I was so proud to stand by her side. So it was amazing all around. It was the best wedding I've ever been to. Yeah,
I'm so glad.
And was your birthday good?
It was really good. Yeah.
Good. I'm glad.
Getting to hang out with friends over the weekend.
I'm sorry I missed it.
I know.
We'll do a post-birthday celebration. Meanwhile, we have some not so happy news to talk about, and it's certainly, we'd be remiss not to talk about it. The largest earthquake to strike Colorado in 40 years has rattled hundreds of people right near the New Mexico border, actually.
Yeah, that's right. The magnitude 5.3 earthquake was recorded just before midnight, right around 11:45, 9 miles southwest of Trinidad, Colorado.
That's scary. The quake follows 2 smaller tremors that were reported earlier in the day, and who would have thought? Yeah,
there are reports of damaged homes and rock sides, but no injuries. And of course, that's just across the border from New Mexico. So a lot of people in and around Raton, just 20 miles northwest of Raton, felt that shaking. That is a lot of shaking. That can almost even make you unsteady when you get to an earthquake of that magnitude.
What about Durango? Did our friends in Durango get it as well?
Durango too far out.
Okay.
And then once you get east of the Rocky Mountains too, because that is just east of the Rocky Mountains, a lot of times the shaking goes farther out from the actual center. So again, a lot of New Mexicans in like north central, northeastern New Mexico felt that shaking last night.
As a meteorologist, you know, I mean, earthquakes are one of the few things we can't really prepare ahead for, because we know when the hurricanes are coming, we know when there's a blizzard, etc., and even a fire sometimes we can see when it's starting to spread. But with an earthquake, it just catches you. I've been in one in LA. It is frightening.
It is a scary thing, and the biggest one since 1974.
I know.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, and a lot of stuff going on in the papers today.
Now some really sad news coming out of northern New Mexico this morning. Massive flooding has plowed through the Dixon Apple Orchard, leaving a sea of destruction.
Awful. I mean, witnesses say a flood of water and mud was so powerful that it took out everything in its path.
It was like watching the tsunami in Japan, except moving at about 35-40 miles an hour down the canyon.
Oh, so scary.
Yeah, a huge wall of water crashed through the Cochiti Canyon Sunday night, and take a look at this. Watch as trees and cars and debris tumble past a Univision news photographer who caught the devastation on tape. You see
So
that?
scary. Even barriers set up to stop flooding were no match for the water and the mud and that sludge. You know, that sludge is the worst. And the home of the family who runs the orchard has been destroyed, of course. I mean, that's to be expected based on that kind of damage. I mean, we're looking at the paper right now and it says a worst case scenario. I mean, nobody wants to see that. You know, we always say worst case scenario, and that's as bad as it gets, which means it is as bad as it gets.
Yeah.
And it's devastating.
30 to 50% of the apple farm was destroyed. There are 2 vehicles, a semi-trailer swept away into the Cochiti Canyon. I mean, this was a major event, and certainly so sad.
What a loss. I mean, you know, we're not originally from here. We didn't grow up with the history that so many people did. But when I hear people talking about it, even this morning, in the short time I've been back, I hear, you know, there's buzz and people just talking about how horrible it is, what a loss it is for our community. It's a big deal. So, you know, our prayers and our sorrows, of course, for everybody. It's terrible. And the community of El Dorado, located near Santa Fe, has rallied and pulled together a benefit for Dixon Apple Orchard. That's actually going to be scheduled for this Saturday at La Tienda Shopping Center in El Dorado.
So, yeah, just bad news there, and thankfully not as much rain in the forecast for them today. So the good news there, and of course I'll detail that coming up. But another big story when we talk about weather right now, this one impacting a lot of folks along the eastern seaboard, the southeastern seaboard, is that there is a rapidly strengthening hurricane, Hurricane Irene. You probably heard about it right now, a monster Category 2 storm, but could become a Category 4 storm as it continues on its track. So a lot of folks along the Florida coast watching it very closely there early Friday morning. I think it will brush the Florida coast. It looks like it's going to stay a little bit to the east, but folks along South Carolina coast and the North Carolina coast really watching that system as it heads their way as a major hurricane. And of course, I'm heading that way.
I know you
week.
are.
My family, they're all getting all the plywood together, starting to board up the houses, calling all day. This is the first time in like 10 years that we've actually been in the cone
zone,
of a major hurricane.
Yeah, because I mean, both our former homes, Miami and South Carolina, both kind of up to see what's going to happen. I know a lot of my friends in Florida preparing as well. It's scary, and like again though, at least with a hurricane, you have meteorologists who can kind of guide you through the process, let you know what's happening and how to prepare for it. So
but yeah, so I'm supposed to go there. I'll be there after it hits. But if it made a landfall south of Myrtle Beach.
Well, the last time you were home was a tornado.
Right. Well, if that happens, if it hits south of Myrtle Beach, the last time that happened, Hurricane Hugo, the property where I'd be staying was 6 feet underwater.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
But right now, it looks like it might be a North Carolina hit, which I don't want it to hit there, but...
Well, of course, we'll keep everybody posted. I mean, even though we live in New Mexico, so many people have family back east and friends back east, so we'll be concerned about that. And of course, we will give you the day-to-day updates. In the meantime, what's our day-to-day update?
It's looking better for us today, especially in the mountains with the rain. Here's a look at the forecast.